So yes, as the title suggests, I will be showing you how to create an income. The channel I will be modeling has made over $21,000 in the last month alone. And this is coming from someone who has been posting long YouTube videos for years now using AI. I was one of the early adopters to kind of get into this. I made millions of dollars from YouTube. Now I hate watching videos with a long intro, so I thought I'd just get into it straight away. Step number one is of course choosing a niche, choosing what kind of content you want to create. And I've written here, do not fall for the YouTube Shorts beginner trap for a very good reason. So I was just looking and browsing on YouTube about YouTube automation, faceless channels, how to get into it. And I saw that every single video that is being posted or is by some guy who's just telling you to start shorts. And I can tell you that YouTube Shorts is the completely wrong direction for you as a beginner if you are taking this opportunity seriously. Now, why shorts is not the best way to go about YouTube, and I'm gonna keep this very, very brief since, yeah, I don't wanna spend too much time on this. First of all, you are competing with a shit ton of your kids trying to create content, trying to follow all of these tutorials, because creating shorts is much easier than creating long form content. So you're naturally gonna have way, way, way more competition with your shorts. Secondly, you get the dopamine rush. No matter how bad your short is that you post, you'll get like 5-10k views. This is just false dopamine that you're making progress, when in reality it is much harder to break through than that. And thirdly, when you do break through, you will need like 200 million views per month to earn like 5-10k from a channel. When with YouTube long form and these channels that I'm going to show you right here, I found this in 5 minutes using my niche research strategy. These channels, they are getting maybe 2-3 million views per month, and they're making more than $20,000 in a single month of being started. So the opportunity when it comes to long form content is just much better. People think that it's super complex to create long form content, but in reality, it is very simple if you just follow the right steps that I'm going to show you. So in order to find a niche on YouTube, there are 2 ways to do it, depending on how much money and time that you have. First way, just use a tool like this, which scouts out the niches for you. So the only real con that a tool like this has is that whilst you're getting these super good channels recommended to you, the system finds channels automatically that are blowing up on YouTube, all that kind of stuff. You also have to keep in mind that the tens of thousands of users that are using this tool, they also get the same channel shown to them. So unless you are very quick to hop on the niche, you might have a struggle competing with the people that are going to be like, they already have their systems in place. They're going to get into this immediately as soon as it pops up on the website. So a tool like this, it is very good for you as a beginner to get an understanding of what faceless channels look like, but you should not 100% rely on it. You should also learn the skill of manual niche research. So anyways, you would see, you just scroll through, literally, you find a bunch of niches, you can filter it as you want, low subscribers and high views, maybe high average views and low days since start, and you find all of these channels that were started recently, but they have a lot of views, like 3.87 million views here 2 months ago. Absolutely crazy. They're printing, but the competition will be high. Now, the manual way of finding a niche, simply head over to the YouTube platform and preferably be on a freshly created channel or a new account, so that YouTube doesn't have this bias of previous content that you have watched. And then you will just start scrolling and find faceless channels. For example, like this one, literally in the top row of recommendations. This is a faceless channel I'm already familiar with. You would check it out and look if it's a good niche. Perhaps take a look at how many subscribers they have. If the channel has 100,000 subscribers, it is most likely going to be something that has been around for a while. Let's take a look. They've been around for 8 months, meaning that this niche by now, it's very likely to have a high rate of competition. It's going to be hard for you to break through if you are a complete beginner. But then the more channels that you visit, the more faceless content the YouTube algorithm will recommend to you. You just put in the reps and eventually you will find some. Now, I already have full tutorials on this on the channel, so I'm not going to dive deeper into it. But using the next level tool, I found this channel, which is called Homestead Roots. And it does have 177,000 subscribers, which is quite a lot, don't get me wrong. But the channel was started just 2 months ago, which is a very good sign. Now, since the channel is started 2 months ago, this makes the subscriber count kind of a green flag. Because if you think about it, they started 2 months ago, they got a bunch of views, they got a ton of subscribers, more than the average faceless YouTube channel, which means that the viewers most likely really enjoy the content. They follow because they want to learn more. And if we just take a look at the most popular videos here, 1.2 million views 2 months ago, 1.2 million views 2 weeks ago, almost 1 million views a month ago, you can tell that the audience really likes the content, and they are just consistently going viral all the time, which is amazing to see. Now, if we take a look at their analytics, this tool to check the analytics is not always accurate. So if a channel says not monetized here, I got like 1 million comments on one of my previous videos. I was breaking down a channel that was supposedly not monetized according to this extension. It is not always accurate and true, so take this with a grain of salt. The channel revenue is probably gonna say a much lower amount than it actually is. If we take at the views, however, they got 3 million views in the last 30 days. And the channel revenue will be lower because the RPM is estimated to be too low for this niche. So basically how this tool calculates the income is just taking the RPM times the amount of views, and they get this. Now, the real RPM for a channel like this is not going to be $3. They are posting 30-minute videos in a somewhat educational niche. So the RPM is going to be a lot higher. It's probably going to be between $7 to $8, $9, $10 for a niche like this. So if we calculate the real earnings that this channel has made, we would take 3,000 approximately times, let's say 7, just conservatively. Maybe we can put this calculation on the screen here. And that would turn out to be $21,000 that they have made in the last 30 days in just ad revenue from this one faceless YouTube channel. And $21,000 from a 2-month-old channel with AI videos that I will show you how to create in 5 clicks of a button. It turns out to be quite a good payday, right? And results like this you will never find doing shorts. Now, before I show you how to create these videos with AI, let's just take a look at one of them, perhaps the most popular one, so that you can understand what kind of content they actually create and how complex it is.
What if I told you that some of the most powerful medicines you could possibly use are growing wild in ditches, abandoned lots, and maybe even your own backyard? Plants that our grandparents knew by heart.
So you can tell very easily that this is an AI voiceover, most likely from 11 Labs. It is just some stock footage or online footage of the plants, and this script is generated with AI as well. So this video probably cost them less than $30 to create, and with 1.2 million views, that is like $6,000-7,000 that it has generated them back, and that is an absolutely crazy return. So before we get into the video production, there is a very important step that you cannot skip. This will cost you thousands of dollars and a bunch of wasted time if you just skip this. But you need to know how to set up your channel correctly, first of all, and you need to know how to warm it up so that you decrease the chance as much as possible to being shadow banned. Now, to just show you quickly what a shadow ban looks like, you will post a video, you get like 1 view, which seems pretty unusual. Like, your video can be very good, you just get 1 view. Take a look at the impressions, you have 11 impressions, and mostly all of them is coming from YouTube search. Now, this is very clearly a shadow ban because YouTube is not pushing or recommending this content on the browse pages or the home page. They are only showing this content to people who search for the exact title. So they're suppressing my video from being recommended to new. And believe it or not, but this is a very common issue for beginners. And most people don't know about this, so they start posting videos. They get these kind of results for 15 videos in a row that they post, and then they give up and think that YouTube is just a crappy business model. But the way to get around this and make sure that you don't get shadow banned is actually way easier than you might think. So there are 3 kind of tips that can help you not get shadow banned. First of all, if you are using a pre-existing channel, you are severely decreasing the risk of you being shadow banned. So for example, if you go on YouTube and you are watching YouTube usually as a normal user, like you just have your own personal YouTube account that you're using every day, then this account is way less likely to be shadow banned, simply because YouTube already knows or thinks that you are a real user. You've been using this account for months, if not years, and they are trusting you more with it. They don't think that you are some bot that is just here to spam the platform. And with using a channel like that, you usually also have an old Gmail connected to that channel. If you go on YouTube and you create a completely fresh channel, you create a completely fresh Gmail to go with that channel, then I can almost guarantee you 90% of the time you will be shadow banned and you will be running into these issues. So really try to avoid that. Use an old Gmail address, use a pre-existing channel if you do have. There are sites where you can acquire aged YouTube channels, but I would not recommend that as pre-existing channels they seem to perform better. I ran experience across hundreds of students that we work with, hundreds of my own channels as well, and pre-existing channels always seem to come out on top. Now the third and last tip will be to warm up your channel for a week. So you would take the channel that you know you're going to post on. I'm going to take this one for example, and you would just go and watch a bunch of faceless, or it doesn't even have to be faceless, but just content on YouTube. You know, like a few videos, do not like every single video, comment on a few videos occasionally, subscribe to a creator or two, and just show YouTube that you are a normal user using their platform every single week or every single day. If you overdo this and like comment on every single video, spam comments everywhere, spam likes, then that can cause you to be shadow banned. So just do it conservatively. More activity doesn't mean that you are, you know, warming up the channel better. Just use it as a normal user. And it really isn't harder than that to set yourself up for success. You can even start by just commenting on this video that you're watching right now to prove that you are human to YouTube and get some good luck and stop procrastinating your YouTube journey. So just go ahead and comment something like what you want to see next on my channel. A normal comment that looks like a normal user, and YouTube will not think that you are a bot. So now that you have your channel set up and all of the other preparations done, we can finally move on to step number 3. And that is creating the videos with AI. So the biggest advantage that you have in front of you right now, as someone getting into YouTube automation, is learning how to use the right AI tools. And that is because it is cheaper. So your video production costs will be cut down by probably like 80-90%. And second of all, it's going to be faster. So you'll be able to put out more videos faster. It's going to help you compete with other people trying to create content in the same niche. And it's just going to help you get more data from your uploads, learn faster, progress faster. It's just a very big benefit. So since you're using AI to perform big steps of the video production process, that means that you don't also have to hire expensive freelancers. So you can very easily manage multiple channels, but your team only consists of like 1, 2, 3 people. And if you just do a single channel, you can be a one-man army and do this yourself. Now, this strategy only works if done right. If you're using the right tools, you're creating content in the right niches. And I can testify to this because, first of all, I'm doing it myself every single day, but I'm also having hundreds of students that are doing it and getting super cool results. And just to prove this as an example, this is my community. I cannot make this up. Like literally a few hours ago, someone hit their first 100K views with these AI videos. Other people just taking off with their videos, scrolling up, people getting monetized. Welcome to the YouTube Partner Program. All that kind of stuff. So we are quite literally doing it as we speak. And if this is not enough proof for you, then I don't know what will be. But for creating the videos with AI, we are going to use a tool called VidRush. This is probably the best video generation tool that you can find right now for YouTube videos. I'm going to show you quickly how it works. So the only things that you have to do is choose the top 10 video format here. Duration would be 18 to 20 or 10 to 12. For the example, I'm just going to do 10 to 12 minutes. We need to figure out the topic that we want to create a video for. So when it comes to YouTube, 80-20 rule, you want to take as much of a proven concept as possible for your new channel, since these guys have already shown to us that people are really interested in forgotten medicinal plants, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, that will heal you instantly. So if we want to have the highest chances of success and people liking our content, of course we're going to go with the proven concept of a top 10 video with medicinal plants that will heal you instantly. So I will just go over to the video, copy the title like this, head back over to VidRush and start writing here. It's gonna ask me for a title, as you can see. Just paste that title in and change this title to 10 plants, because that's what our video is going to be about. And then we need to provide some form of description for the video. So yeah, I'll just fast forward as I put that in. So as you can see, I now wrote the description. You can pause the video and read it here if you want to. I'm also going to change the title to 10 instead of 20. That is what our video format is, top 10 video, not top 20. Then just press on the arrow here to generate the video. You might get an objection like this, that list size okay, but obscure plants may lack footage. So it tells us that they might not have enough footage of these like rare plants. But that can be completely fine. So I'm just going to acknowledge this and proceed. Usually that's not the biggest issue. It will just replace those parts with something else. So yeah, now you will be taken to the voiceover section. Usually this one called Alex is the best explainer voice for this kind of educational niches. All of these voices are taken from 11 Labs, so the quality of the voices will be really good, the same as those that you find on 11 Labs. I'll play a quick sample of Alex here for you.
A professional, neutral voice, ideal for technical...
And as you can hear, it sounds perfect for a video about plants. The voiceover is not the most important part. So I'll just scroll down and press on continue here. It's gonna take us to the next page where we can choose the style of the kind of editing that we want. All different sorts of themes for the plant video. I think the minimalistic theme will be the absolute best. So yeah, you can play around with this as you wish. But the minimalistic theme, press on continue once again. Moving on to the next one. Here you can choose the background kind of color image. Since our video is about plants, this one looks slightly, dirty, might be good for some kind of backyard video about plants. Why not? Let's just use that one. Continue. It is not super important. It's more so that you can keep a consistent style with your uploads, and that's gonna help you brand your channel better. Now, during this last page, this is quite interesting. You will be able to choose a thumbnail reference. You can see that VidRush just kind of fetched all of the thumbnails from similar videos on YouTube. What this will do is that you will choose something that you want VidRush to generate for you. It will generate a thumbnail for you. It is an early feature still, so it's not going to be the best possible thumbnail, but why not? I think I even saw the thumbnail from our reference video right here. If we just verify that, yeah, it's the same thumbnail. So VidRush literally found that video just based on our title. That's kind of cool. Now we would just press continue once that is selected, and it will now start creating the actual video. And VidRush is then going to place you in a queue. Since this is a fairly new tool and probably the only video generation tool that I could stand behind that creates good content, you can see progress is already starting here. And I don't gain anything from talking good about VidRush. I have no affiliation with it whatsoever, but it is genuinely one of the tools that generates the best YouTube long form videos for faceless YouTube channels. Anyhow, I will just skip to when this process is done, and I'm gonna show you the results. Perfect, so the video is now generated. You see you get it in a kind of editing timeline like this, where you can change everything with your video. If you're not happy with an image, which you'll see some things are not completely perfect, you can just change it as you wish. Now, I did not change anything. I just left it completely as is the result. And yeah, let's take a look.
We are counting down 10 medicinal plants the modern world has all but forgotten. From rare alpine wildflowers to common weeds outside your door. Some ease pain in under an hour, others stop bleeding in minutes, and one brings relief the instant it touches skin. Each earned its rank on speed, safety, and
As you can see, you got some animations. That's also the very kind of special thing with this tool. These kinds of animations you would usually need to hire an editor for. That would cost you quite a bit of money. But this tool does all of that automatically. Also, this animation quite nice. It looks like there's more effort put into the video than just a standard AI video, and that is why this also has a much higher chance of being monetized. Not to mention, it also incorporates real videos, so it's not just a still image that you're using. It's not boring stock footage. It's actual good footage that makes sense with your content. And this just goes on with kind of the same quality for 8 to, let's actually see, 13 14 minutes this video is. And as I mentioned, if you're doing this properly, then the intro here wasn't the best with this kind of image of this flower being still for too long. There's also some glitch here. I would probably just upload my own image here by pressing on the upload button and switching this one out to something better. But it's completely flexible, and you can change as much as you want. You can change captions, add text to it, add background music, all that kind of stuff you can do yourself as you wish. So then you would just go ahead and press the render video up here, then start render, and boom, you have your first video done at the fraction of the cost you would normally have to pay to a big production team to create this back in the days. Not to mention that you also did not have to wait several days for this to get delivered. You simply just did this in under an hour, and now you're ready to post your first video. Now this essentially allows you to enter any niche the same day that you find it, and that is where the real advantage lies. Now, since VidRush is a new tool, it is in beta, not everyone can access it. However, for you guys and everyone watching this video being lucky enough, I used all of my YouTube clout to get a limited amount of access codes from the developer of the tool. I usually only hand these tools out to the people in my coaching program, but I thought why not get some codes out to the free watchers on YouTube as well. So there are 3 steps you need to follow in order to get the chance to win a code. First of all, put a comment on this video that you want a code. Take a screenshot of your comment and then DM me the screenshot on my Instagram. Just a screenshot of your comment so I can see kind of as proof that you've done it. And then thirdly, I will just randomly share codes to people who DM. So it's not really first come, first served, since that would be unfair for some people that might not see this video, you know, the hour that I post it. So you always have a chance of getting a code. Simply follow these steps. And yeah, if you're lucky enough, you'll get one. Now, the last step to start a profitable YouTube automation business is to start thinking like a business. So in order to scale to multiple channels or scale to beyond 5K in revenue per month, you will need a team. There's no reality where you will be able to remain a one-man army and, you know, produce all of this content, produce all of these thumbnails for multiple channels, posting every single day. You might think so, but when you get to that point, you will see that you don't have enough time. And this is because you want to spend your experience and your skills and your time on the ideation while your team focuses on the content production and just using these AI tools, making sure the content is good. Now you might be wondering, who do you hire if you're using AI for basically everything? Like, what kind of person do you need on your team? And the way that people run these AI operations on YouTube is that they hire virtual assistants to outsource the video production. So you will still be using the AI tools, but you'll simply be just handing over access to the tools to the virtual assistants that perform these steps for you, so that you don't have to sit day in and day out and generate thumbnails, generate videos, all that kind of stuff. And this is a lot easier than you think if you focus on creating very clear instructions. So you just go through this entire process that we have gone through during this video. You compile that into a set of instructions, like step by step. Step number 1, generate the video and press on these specific buttons. And then you just hand that over to a virtual assistant that you could be paying $4 or $5 an hour. And these are really the methods that me and the people showing all of these results are using to grow our channels. And it just gets even crazier. So this is a post from Reed here. He made over $109,000 in like half a year with a completely new AI channel that he started with us, that is still running and pulling in over, that looks like $400 per day. And that is thanks to him purely implementing these AI strategies that I've shown in this video, but also setting up a good system for his team. Now, there are 2 different platforms that you can use to manage your team successfully. The most common one and the most kind of basic one is Trello. It looks something like this. This is my board for my personal brand channel here. You can see that I just plan out all of my content in different kind of cards. So as soon as I have a new video idea, I just add a new card, like how to start a business YouTube channel, and boom, you just plan it that way, and you see these different columns in which you have your video. So your virtual assistant would essentially be invited to this view here, and they would be the ones managing the cards based on if the editing is in process, meaning that they're perhaps creating the video with the AI tool. If the video is done, they can move it to editing in review. And this means that they are waiting for you to review the video to make sure that it is all good. It is extremely easy to use Trello. You can just kind of copy the layout that I have here, but these are the only features that Trello offer basically. And here's the second option, which is called Cloudboard, and the one that I personally use the most. It has all of the features that Trello does have, except it is a more advanced team management platform. So if you are running a bigger operation and a bigger team, then you will benefit more from having a tool like this, since you not only have the board, as you can see here on the left hand side, but you also have chat so that you can communicate with your team, which Trello does not have. You also have Drive, Calendar, Economy, where you can pay out your freelancers very easily without having to, you know, log into PayPal or log into all of these different services yourself. You can simply just use this to very easily manage your team and boost your productivity as much as possible. Now, this platform is also in beta, just like VidRush, so not everyone can access it. Therefore, I won't be talking too much about it, but I will be putting the links to all of these tools in the description. So if you're interested in getting access to a more powerful team management platform like Cloudboard or, you know, VidRush, then you can simply just sign up for the beta waitlists through the link. But that is all for this video. Not gonna make it any longer. If you want to see the full story of, for example, Reed here, then I will towards the end of this video put a interview that I did with him where he himself explains his entire journey of using AI, creating this channel that generated over $100,000. It was the first channel that he started with us, so it's a quite cool example of what we do in the program as well. Now, I'm an open book, so if you have any questions related to YouTube, just put them below. I will answer them or make a video about them perhaps. But apart from that, I will see you in the next video. And here comes the interview.
All right, so I'm currently at my dashboard on smmshiba.com, and do not get confused by the website names. SMMShiba and SMM are actually the same website. So all you have to do once you've created yourself an account here is to go on list, click on this category icon, select, and here you want to select something, basically any option that says from with video. So I'm going to choose this one right here. And this should be already fine. 2014, 2017. Yeah. Now I'm going to click on buy, confirm. And now you can go onto your product orders and you will see this is pending. All right. The order is now completed. This didn't even take 2 minutes. What you want to do now is you want to copy that ID, and we want to be organized, right? Especially if we have multiple channels, you will not find them again. So make sure to save it somewhere.